Shalom Aleichem, hope all is well. This video is sponsored by an anonymous donor, an anonymous sponsor. May he be blessed in all his endeavors. Thank you so much to him, and may you all be blessed. And please help support the Torah channel. We have some shocking news. We are living in the final generation. And a lot of times, why do we keep re-emphasizing this? Because we have to take it into our hearts and we have to accelerate this redemption process. This ability is in our hands, my friends. We have this ability in our hands. We just have to tap into it. What is so special, this is the emphasis on this video, is that in the days of Mashiach, we will experience a revelation of God. The whole world will see its master. Our master, Hashem, will no longer hide himself from us. What does this mean? We learn in Tanya, we learn in Likutei Amarim, the holy writings of the Baal Tanya, the Alter Rebbe, the first Rebbe of Chabad, that specifically in the book of Shar Yichud and Emunah, which is connected to the teachings of the Baal Shem Tov and the Rizal, that God creates the world through speech. God speaks the world into existence. And not only this is something that's so crucial to take into our minds, and once we recognize it, it's like something you can't unremember. When you think about it, it's like you become super freaked out in an excited way. You become in awe truly of God and in his abilities. Is the following: that God doesn't just create the world, but rather he creates the world at every single moment. He creates me, he creates all those around me, and he creates existence at every single moment. Mechadish betuva bechol yom tamid. He renews the world at every single moment in his greatest kindness. And when we take this into heart, we'll surely be aware of God and we'll recognize the greatness that he has in his abilities to take the world into existence. But to take it a step further, the Alter Rebbe in Torah explains that, first of all, God just creates the entire world. God creating the entire world is like a single thought before him. It is nothing. It is of absolutely no value or significance compared to him in his entirety. However, in another surprising reality that the Alter Rebbe reveals to us, is that how do we tap into a greater revelation of God? By realizing that God creates me, and God, who's completely beyond the world, and this entire world is of no importance to him. To create the world, meaning for God to create the world, it takes no effort at all from his part. It is just like infinitely less than us just blinking our eyes. Yet, as great as Hashem is and beyond the world he is, he's interested in me specifically, to the point where he chose to create me. Hashem is beyond infinite, but yet he desires me. And when we think about that, we'll naturally feel like we are far from God and we want to be closer to him. And the Alter Rebbe explains that this is the greatest way to tap into God's essence, to connect to God himself at the deepest form. How? By realizing that the infinite God is interested in me, that maybe I feel far from him. And yeah, I probably do feel far from him. But realizing by feeling far from God, we're actually really beginning to get close to him. And by realizing this, in the days of Mashiach, this is the point of the video, that the Rebbe explains in a mimer that on the verse from the Tanach, V'nigla kavod avaya, God's glory will be revealed to the entire world, V'ra'u kol basar ke'echad, that we will literally see godliness with our eyes. We explained that God creates the world at every single moment. And if he was to stop, the world would cease to exist. But yet, we don't always see this, and we could forget about it, and we could become numb to it. But we have to use our minds to realize that God is creating the world. And remember this, that when Mashiach arrives, God will make it automatic. We won't have to work to see God creating the world. It'll be open and revealed. It'll be like an intense, beyond words, revelation of God at every single moment through the lens of the fact that God creates the entire world, and that how every piece of existence is infinitely tiny in comparison to God. When we realize this, we'll surely get excited and get ready to greet our Master. Let's take this into our hearts. Again, thank you to our anonymous donor. May he be blessed, and please help support the Torah channel. And this reality is something that is exciting and intense, and is something that is possible for each and every one of us to tap into. Hope you like this video. May Hashem bless you all.